Virus Part 1. The newsroom of ABP News was electric with tension. Manjunath, the chairman, stood at the head of the room, his sharp gaze moving across the team he'd assembled.
Our TRP ratings are at rock bottom. I want ideas, people, innovative ones, to turn this around.
His hands clenched tightly around the reports, frustration etched into his face. A murmur swept through the room as everyone avoided eye contact, nervously flipping through notes and scratching their heads. Suddenly, every screen in the office flickered, going dark, casting a heavy silence over the bustling newsroom. All heads turned as the usual live news feed was replaced by a chilling, blood-red message. On screen, "You're going to witness a live murder in 5 minutes." Gasps echoed through the room as panic set in. Phones rang off the hook. People scrambled to trace the signal, and some just stood frozen, their faces pale with fear and disbelief. Manjunath's eyes were wide with shock, his mouth slightly open as he processed the enormity of what was about to happen. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit suburban home, Koteshwar Rao sat alone, watching his screen with a quiet unease. A technician had arrived an hour earlier, claiming he was there to fix a connectivity issue with the computer.
Are you almost done with that?
The technician, standing in the shadows, didn't respond immediately. His fingers moved deftly over the equipment, making subtle, unnoticeable adjustments. His face was hidden beneath a mask, but his eyes gleamed with a cold, detached focus.
Just a moment.
As Koteshwar watched, the lights in his room flickered and he felt a chill in the air. The technician straightened up, removing his mask slowly, revealing a face devoid of emotion. A face Koteshwar didn't recognize. He took a step back, sensing danger.
You don't know me, but I've been watching you. Right now, the world is watching you too.
The technician covers his face again and his hand reached into his coat, pulling out a small, unassuming spy camera, which he fixed into a corner of the room. In a swift, terrifying movement, he lunged at Koteshwar, his hands closing around his neck. Koteshwar struggled, his face turning red, eyes bulging with panic. Moments later, his body went limp. Blood trickled onto the polished wooden floor as the killer calmly took a red marker, writing his final message on the wall beside him. "On war, my next murder will be soon, Lave Virus." The news of Koteshwar Rao's gruesome murder sent shockwaves across the nation. Within hours, the government assigned the case to the CID. Senior Officer Rajveer Singh arrived at the crime scene, a dark expression shadowing his face.
This isn't just any murder. Whoever did this wanted everyone to watch. He calls himself Virus.
Rajveer scanned the room, his sharp eyes tracing every bloodstain, every fingerprint, every sign of a struggle. His fingers hovered over the killer's message on the wall. This was no ordinary killer. Virus was orchestrating a spectacle, feeding on the fear of his audience.
We're dealing with a killer who thrives on fear, someone who enjoys being watched.
Rajveer's mind raced as he searched for any clues Virus might have left behind. He knew that this was only the beginning.